Hello to everybody. Ben, good to see you. Johnny, on searching. Sagan, Aussie, good to see you. Jay, Danny, who else is out there right now? Vash, great to see you. Yordi, so good. Hi, Robin. Saya, how are you? We get to have some fun today. A lot of fun. I took the liberty over the weekend and I went out and I found a few images that I think will work great. They're just vectors and shapes, and I made a couple of textile shapes that we can use. Not textile, but text style. And and we'll start going through this. I guess we haven't hit the 10 o'clock mark, so let's give that another minute. Make sure we get these tricklers in. Exactly. Text tile, or text style. Gotta love English, right? All good, D. No worries. Texas style? Well, now you're talking my language. That's where I'm from originally. All right, let's get this shindig going. So, first thing we want to talk about, we're going to go in here and we're just going to look at the actual menu and how to get to pattern to image, right? So, pattern to image is a very inexpensive way to get rid of your tokens. So this is a good thing for all you free users who only get the 150 tokens, and only 5 of them are 5 alchemy uses. This will be another way of you being able to make some superb images without having to go overboard and spending the 20 tokens or however much it is, 8 tokens a piece or whatever. This is usually about 1 to 2 tokens each. So, what we have here is we've got, of course, your number of images. This is going to change, and this changes dependent upon, what I've noticed is dependent upon the size of the image that you go from. So, let's just start from the beginning, right? So we have everything off. We don't want photoreal, we don't want alchemy, we don't want prompt magic. If you want to turn your public images on, you're more than welcome to. Let's go ahead and do that since this is a live stream. We'll keep the public images on. Don't worry about your image dimensions, because the image that you're going to get will be dimensioned off of the shape image that you put in for your pattern. Now, what I mean by that is, well, let's just turn everything on and we'll get to that. So we have everything off, right? We're starting at a base, just nothing going. We got public images turned on so that people can be able to see them when we're done. Don't need to worry about guidance scale. All we got to do now is click or drag to add whatever image we're going to add. Okay, so let's start right now. We'll just start with this panther here. This is a panther vector image that I found just using Google. Now, if you don't know how to use vector images, or how to find vector images, they're pretty easy. Just type in any Google chat or Google search vector, whatever animal or whatever it is you're looking for. Google search will open it up and look in images. And in images, there are tools. And in those tools, you're able to go through and select size, color, things of that nature that you can get, fine tuned down to whatever it is you're looking for. Now, I suggest that you use the smallest image you can possibly find. The larger the image, it seems the more Leo wants to charge you for what you're doing. Okay, so this image here is what, in 1296 by 976, it looks like, right? But we have other ones. Let's pop another smaller one in. I made these, like this one's 992 by 640, right? So we're only at 2 to generate with this, right? Whereas if we go up, we pop in these big ones. This is a larger one. See, it pops it up, and now we're at 4 for a generation to be able to generate 2 images, right? So it was 1 image, 1 token per image for the smallers, and then 2 tokens per image because this is a larger image. Okay, I got a bunch of clicking going on over here. Oh, that's not good. Control R. that any better? You can see everything? Okay, perfect. Sorry about that, folks. I'm getting into a roll here and you can't see it, but you can hear. Still can't. Huh. What is going on here? Let's see. Screen. Help everybody. Well, this isn't good if you can't see what's going on. Kind of hard to show you how to do things if you can't see me doing it. Maybe those users who can't see try and restart maybe. And I'm just going to continue on and hopefully it comes back in for you. So sorry that this is happening for you. Okay. Well, let's get back into it. Uh, so we've got this panther or leopard, whichever you'd like to prefer calling it, um, sitting here ready to be worked on. Now, as I said, this is a large image at 1296 by 976, so it's generating. It costs 2 tokens per image. Control, yeah. So now it's buffering for you. Oh, yeah. I have a yellow bang as well. Not sure what that if that means anything or not. Did that change anything? I'm just clicking on things trying to get things going to make sure everything's check marked. Things on my side, so I'm sorry if you guys aren't seeing anything. All right, well we're going to continue on because I only have an hour and a half of doing this. Um, Hopefully we can get the image embedded in the recording, and then once we post this live, if you weren't be able to watch, maybe then you can go through and watch. So right now we have the leopard set up in the prompt here, in the drag and drop area, and I have a couple of prompts that I've already written. Let me get those open real quick. And that way I have those accessible. And then I'm just going to run these prompts in. Now, don't laugh. I know a lot of people think that my prompts are a little overly exaggerated and written out. That's because I speak English and I don't like speaking broken English. Now, if my prompt does, if there is a character limit. So if I get to a point to where I run out of characters, I will go back and start removing useless stuff. But until that point, I don't mind having all that. I wouldn't call it, like Dee said, you don't call it useless. They're not useless words. They're just not words that pinpoint exactly what it is you're looking for. Okay, they're still going to have an effect though. So basically, I just wrote these little prompts here. This one's generate a photorealistic image of a breathtaking waterfall in the heart of the Amazon jungle. This image should closely resemble a real photograph captured with a 50mm lens to provide a balanced view of the cascading water and the lush rainforest surroundings. The lighting should replicate the natural play of light and shadows within the jungle, enhancing the depth and realism of the scene. Use a 4K resolution to ensure clarity and detail, allowing viewers to appreciate the sheer beauty and power of the Amazonian waterfall. And then my my little tags at the end. So let's go ahead and hit this. I'm going to bump this up to, well, I can't. So this particular image, because of what size it is only going to allow you to do 2 images at a time. So we'll spend our 4. I always keep these negative prompt. I just always have them on every single every single one I do. Just habit. So we'll get these going. The good thing about running without prompt magic and alchemy is that the generations go really quick, usually between 8 and 10 seconds, as you can see here. So what we have here, right? We wanted the waterfall, and we wanted it inside this image, right? But we never turned anything on. This is just simply using a guidance scale as a prompt, okay? And it's still pretty cool. You're going to get your shape. But now we get to have fun, right? Let's turn the control net on. We've got it set so you have pose to image, edge to image, depth to image, and pattern to image. We're doing strictly pattern to image today. And here's your weight slider, right? I've found, really depending on how crisp the pattern is that you have, usually around 60 and up. But the majority of them are going to be anywhere between 75 and up. I particularly like between 90 and up. In this particular one, I'm just going to run it at a straight heavy weight, and then I'll show you exactly what it's going to do if we run it at a lower weight. Okay, so at the straight heavy weight of a solid 1, let's run this and see what happens. And then I'm going to turn it down to 50-ish. And we'll run another one just so we have a comparison there. Again, these don't take very long to do. There is some secret sauce there, Johnny. And there we go. So as you can see, the pattern is fully there. Now, if we click on this, you lose the pattern, right? It's hardly noticeable. It just looks like a lush forest waterfall. But when you zoom out, now granted, you may not be able to zoom out, but you can step a few steps back away from your screen, and that image will become a lot more clear. You'll be able to see exactly what it is that shape intends to be, right? And here's another one here where we dropped it down to the 50s. So now you don't see anything at all. I mean, there's hardly any pattern in that. There's no way, I don't care where you stand, that you're going to see a panther in this image. So it's a lot of fun just messing around with the slider weight. You know, if we drop it to 75, we're going to still get that shape, and it should be legible, or I guess legible would be the word to use. It should still be able to be seen, just not as focused and detailed as what a 1 weight is going to be. So yeah, there we go. You can still see the head. There's still a little bit of the nose in there, some of the eye, and that ear, right? But again, up close, there's no way. There's no way you can see a panther in that. Farther out, it's all over the place. It's even with the speckled spots, all the mottling, is that what they call the mottled spots? So there we go. Any questions so far? You check the chat real quick. Nothing. We all good? Are we up to knowing what's going on? Like I said, this is really simple. There's really not much to this. Okay. It's just a matter of adding those particular images. And that, like I said, that's the toughest part, is making sure that you have the right images, the right patterns for the image that you're trying to go for. Okay. So I think we've played around enough with this, with this panther. Let's do another one. We'll try, let's go with the Joker. Huh? Why so serious? And I've got another little prompt here that I've written for it. We'll turn control net back on, pattern to image. Let's crank this up to 1 as well. And here we go. Generate a photorealistic image capturing the breathtaking beauty of the islands of Indonesia. This image should closely resemble a real photograph captured with a wide-angle lens to provide a panoramic view of the Indonesian archipelago, including its lush landscapes, sandy beaches, and turquoise waters. The lighting should replicate the natural ambiance of the region, enhancing the clarity and vividness of the scene. Use a 4K resolution to ensure sharpness and realism, allowing viewers to appreciate the diversity and natural splendor of the Indonesian islands. Secret sauce. Of course, no bad image, the typical negatives. So, it's a good image, right? I mean, we're all very aware of that Joker image. Now let's see what it'll do with a bunch of islands. We're turned up to 1. Let's crank it down to 85, 86 and see what that does. And then we'll crank it down to 75, which is really, I think, the lowest that you'd want to play around with it. You start getting down into the 60s and it really starts to bug out a bit. So there we go. Now that's a little too, obvious, right? I mean, come on, trees don't grow like that. But this one not so much so, okay? If you look closely at the cliff face here where it says why so serious, right? It's all in shadow. But when you zoom in and you see it for real, it just looks like islands and cliff faces. Now, you know that it says why so serious, so you can still see the question mark and the S and the I, and it keeps going. But if you weren't aware that that was there, it would be much harder to notice, right? Much harder to notice. And this is at the 85, 86 range. So you can see it's trying to take it away a little bit, right? Trying to blend it more into the surroundings. And then we get down into the 75 range. Still there, fully, and you'll be able to see it when you walk away. But just not so in your face like a 1 weight. Like this. I mean, I don't care where you stand, you're going to see that one. So, very cool stuff. Very, very fun. Any more questions? Anything at all? Let's see. I thought, what's going on? Trying out. Can't wait. Or can't see anything, just voice coming. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of people aren't able to see anything. I have no idea what's going on there. Can't see the stream anymore. I'm so sorry this is going on. Thank you, On Searching, for posting what's happening in screenshots. Am I going too fast for you? Maybe I should slow down a bit. Aussie, it really depends on what it is that you're going for, right? I think your best option is to figure out what image it is you're trying to go for. Like if you want waterfalls, or if you want cliff faces, or if you want clouds, or a storm, or whatever, a side of a building. Find out what image it is that you want when you get to the end, right? Your ending piece, and then come in and say, okay, what do I want to use as a pattern to enhance that image, right? So, like let's try another one, okay? Let me pop another couple more of these open so that On Searching can get a screenshot and show what the 75 weight would do. Let that sit for a second so he gets a screenshot. And then and he's already there's already got a 1 weight sitting down there. So let's move on to answering Aussie's question. So I've got another one here. This one's horses, okay? Just a band of horses, small enough, right? It's only a 992 640. It's only going to cost you 1 per. With this one, because it's so small, we can bump up to 4. And let's so I know. Let's go down to let's see, wild horses. I want this. I'm looking for a meadow with a tree line at the end of it. And there's nothing more beautiful than a herd of horses standing in a wildflower meadow feeding with a beautiful landscape behind. So let's do those two together, okay? A meadow and those horses. Got to turn the control net on, pattern to image, crank it up to 1, and we'll generate 4. So this is imagine a vast meadow bathed in the warm, golden light of the setting sun. The meadow should be adorned with colorful wildflowers and bathed in the soft glow of the evening. The foreground should feature a few gently swaying blades of tall grass, adding a sense of depth and immersion to the scene. In the distance, a dense forest should rise, with trees of various types forming a majestic natural barrier. The trees should be partially silhouetted against the fading light, their foliage catching the warm hues of the setting sun. The sun should be low on the horizon, casting long shadows and creating a beautiful interplay of light and shadow throughout the scene. The sky should be painted in hues of orange, pink, and purple, creating a stunning backdrop for the tranquil landscape. Secret sauce. And, of course, negative prompts are the same. Everything's cranked up to 1 there on pattern to image. And let's see what these horses turn out like. Or maybe they won't. Maybe we'll just see a meadow. No, Johnny, the image does not need to be vectorized. You can use any image. The only thing is that you're going to want to have contrasting colors for it to work. Okay, you can use any colors you want. I've found that black and white seem to work the best because they're so contrasting. I'm sure if you did red and yellow or that kind of thing, it'll work just fine as well. Um, but yeah, black and white is most definitely what I found to be the best. So as you can see here, yeah, these horses turned out great, right? I mean, you can tell. Let's oops, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Um, let's zoom in on these and see exactly what we have here, right? So we've got our wildflowers in our meadow, a group of trees, all in the shape of the horses, and these shadows that come down to tie in to make the legs and everything to make it appear as though it's running. It's absolutely gorgeous, right? Now, some of these, not so much. I mean, who plants shrubs and lines like that? It doesn't make much sense. But as long as there's shadows, well, that one's not shadow either. But so that was really the only one with the shadows there. As you can see, it does everything it can to try and make it what it is. Let's turn that down a touch and see if that helps anything. We'll go down to 90, 91. Do another one. Another 10 down. We'll drop it to 73. Just go through some. Let's see what we're going to do here. Okay, we've seen those. There's some more. That one doesn't really give off that play, does it? I'm not really seeing the horses in that one. It's a beautiful image, though. Yeah, that one's pretty there, too. Mm. So, yeah, as you see, as we move down, everything's starting to fade out, right? You're not seeing those horses as prevalent anymore. And here you can barely see them at all. And that's at 73, right? So, like I said, the 75 range seems to be about where most of them are like, nah, not going to do it anymore, okay? So, when you crank it up, like I said, I usually keep mine anywhere between about 95 and 1, usually around 1, um, or usually on 1. Let's run these on 1 again and see if we get anything different. There we go. Now, see, that one's a little better because it shows paths between grass instead of actual grass tufts. So that's a good looking image. That one too. So yeah, it's just about having the forethought, Aussie. You got to really think about it as you know. It's not like using alchemy and PM3. Where you give it what you want and you hope for the best, and then change it afterwards, right, to make it what you want. This you really have to think about what you want at the end, and then get there. right? It's called, I guess you could call it massaging the prompt. you know, uh, put in what you need. Hopefully it comes out. If it doesn't, massage and get it to where you need it. I have one that I'll show you here in a few where it's only one word, one word prompt, and it works out amazingly. Um, so let's get on to this next one. So we've got what are we going to do on this one? Let's go with this butterfly within butterflies within butterflies. All right, and let's post this one. Create a captivating artistic image that transports us deep into the heart of a mysterious cave where the awe-inspiring beauty of stalactites and stalagmites is revealed by the warm glow of torchlight. Within the cave, depict an intricate landscape of naturally formed stalactites hanging from the cave ceiling and stalagmites rising from the cave floor. Each formation should be unique, showcasing the intricate patterns and textures created by centuries of geological processes. The torchlight should cast dramatic and flickering shadows, adding an element of mystery and intrigue to the scene. The play of light and shadow should enhance the depth and dimension of the cave's interior. The arch style should celebrate the natural wonder of the cave, using rich, earthy tones and a meticulous detailing to bring out the textures and forms of the stalactites and stalagmites. This image should evoke a sense of exploration and wonder at the hidden beauty of the subterranean world. Secret sauce and control net. Make sure that's on because I do this all the time. I get in such a rush that I want to go. I forget to click on control net. So every time that you remove an image out of here, it resets everything. And when you put a new image in, everything's turned off. So you got to turn it all back on again. So that's all turned on. Control weight is up to 1. And let's see what we get. Now see, this one is a 1000 by 672 and we're at 5 tokens to run 4 images. Okay. Again, a real cheap way for free users to be able to enjoy themselves and have a great time and take a little while, you know, to be able to go in as a free user and say, okay, here's another 20 spent. Well, you only get about 15 or 20 minutes of that, right? Being able to come in and make things like this for 4 or 5 tokens a piece each time when you're doing 4 or 5 images, you can make that last a little longer and have some fun throughout the day. So there we go. I mean, I see a lot of stalactites. I'm not really seeing any stalagmites. Well, I guess there's a couple in here. But very cool image, right? Very cool image. All of these. You can see the butterfly. Now, I'm not really seeing a lot of the butterflies within the butterflies. But it's still an amazing image. I see the butterfly fully. Well, that's gorgeous. Love the blue coming down off the top like that. The torchlight, how it gives that little glare off the cave wall. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. So again, these are just things to play around with. I mean, there's so many different vector images out there on Google. Now, one thing I have noticed is a lot of people have started putting a transparency film over it. So when you click on it and save it, rather than it coming up as the image that you saw in Google, it'll come up as a completely solid black image. And those just, if you see checkerboard pattern behind it, just pass over it because that's what it's going to do. It's going to come up as a solid black piece. You won't see the image at all. Make sure that just make sure that it's a solid white with the black image, and those are good to right click and save as. All right, how are we doing? Are we good on questions? A kid's bedtime story? Oh, the prompt on that one? Yeah, probably so. We good to go? All right, Sagan, you're doing all right? Johnny's typing. Thank you so much for doing this copy paste with your screenshots on searching. This is you're saving me here. Thank you so much. I'm enjoying it. All right, so let's get to the next one. Let's get back into there. We'll pop this one out. After I get through with the pictures, I'm going to start moving to text and show you how to do text as well. So let's pop another picture in here. I think I have one or two more of these. Yeah, this is the Avengers logo I was talking about, right? So I have a prompt that I created for this Avengers logo where I wanted to see a city skyline of just nothing but skyscrapers, right? And this is where exactly what you were talking about, Aussie, with your question comes into play. This is a lot of text, right? Now, granted, it's a shape, but those are squares, okay? If you think about it in a geometric way, these are hard, solid lines. Hard, solid lines do well with hard, solid lines, okay? This circle here isn't going to do so well as a hard, solid line when it comes to skyscrapers. There aren't a lot of round skyscrapers when it comes to a horizontal look, right? Over the top, sure. From the side, it can be round, but not like that, from a landscape view. So let's see what this thing does. Pop this prompt in there. Imagine a cityscape where towering skyscrapers reach for the sky, each one uniquely designed with its own architectural flair. The city should be bustling with life, with streets filled with cars, bustling sidewalks, and the glow of city lights. The scene should be bathed in the warm, inviting light of a setting sun, casting long shadows and creating a sense of urban magic. Now, notice in every one of my prompts that I've written for these, this is a huge line. Okay? Casting long shadows. The play of light is absolutely spot on what you need to what you need to work with when it comes to making these images, because that's what's going to do it. You're going to have depth in whatever it is, okay? Like this butterfly image. That's depth. It's pushing back into the wall with all these stalactites and hanging down and stalagmites pushing up to give that depth, that feel, right? That all works off of light. Okay? It's casting the shine on the front while giving the dark from the back. Okay? Your shadows. So that is a big deal, right? You need to make sure you're playing with your light when you're doing these prompts. So to continue on, the colors of the city should be vibrant and dynamic, reflecting the energy of a thriving metropolis. The art style should celebrate the modernity and complexity of the city using sharp lines, again, bold shapes, again, and meticulous detailing to bring out the individual character of each skyscraper. And then, just for the heck of it, I wanted to make sure I was getting a wide angle view and a panoramic view with a wide angle lens, so I went ahead and put in my camera stuff here, a high resolution DSLR, and some secret sauce. So, we've got this cranked up to 1, and let's check out and see what the Avengers logo is going to give us. Now, this is at 1000 by 640 to allow 4 at 4. So 1 token spent per image. Okay? And let's see what we get. Dun, 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 dun. So there we go. Hard to see, right? You know it's there. And the further away you get from the screen, the more legible it's going to be. But you see how it's having to work that circle? It has to make some kind of a weird building for that to fit, right? And it can't play off a shadow with that. It just doesn't work. Same thing here. It has to be a weird building for it to do anything, right? So, here, like they put a park at the bottom to get that bottom of the thing, but then what do you do at the top, right? It's just a number of buildings to try and pixelate it in, basically, on a larger scale. Same thing there. They're using more shadow than anything on this one. So, not a good idea to do round with straight. Okay? So that's the only reason why I did this one, was just to show you how hard it would be for you to be able to do nothing but straight lines up and down and have a circle in it, right? That was really the only reason why I did this one. All right, so let's move on, and we'll start getting to rid of that one. I think I have one. Yeah, one more. This love inside of a heart. And again, this is what I mean by shaping your text. Okay, if I was to take Sagan and make Sagan's name into a shape of a teacup right here, and then go up and do my prompt as an intricately painted whatever teacup and saucer, I would expect that the teacup would shape itself around the shape that I've given it in the shape of the teacup. Okay? So let's see what happens if we do that with love. We know love is inside of a heart. So let me take, I don't even have a prompt for it. So I'm just going to throw a single word out and we'll see what happens. Okay? Actually, I'm not even going to use any secret sauce. So let's see. Love, uh, heart shaped box with a lock and skeleton key. How about that? Simple enough. We know it's in a heart. So hopefully Leo will understand that we have a heart here already. Let's turn that into a box and then add a little lock and a key. This again is, oh, we can do 8 of these if we wanted to. Let's go ahead and do that because it's such a small image at 696 by 640, or maybe I'm just guessing on the size of the image. I really don't know what it's looking at when it comes to creating the, how many tokens it's going to cost you to do it. Now this is just one a piece. So let's go ahead and crank that through. Everything's on. Pattern to image, cranked up to 1. Let's see what happens. I'm going to try that for you, Sagan, by the way. Shape box we were looking for, but we're getting our locks and our well, not really a skeleton key anywhere, huh? I guess it's trying there. But you can still see that it says love. It's not quite as in your face as some of the others, but it's there, right? That one's a little more obvious because the E is showing up where the other ones weren't. L-O. The L kind of is a little wonky, but that's fixable there in Canvas. So as you can see, you can just play with these as much as you want. And again, it all comes down to making sure that you have some way of being able to do photo manipulation, whether that be through Inkscape or Photoshop or Canva, if Canva allows it. I'm not quite sure on that. I only really use it for just blocky text stuff, just quickly, or for cropping images. And really, I only did that while I was at work because I didn't have Photoshop access while I was at work. When I'm at home, I just use Photoshop. So pretty cool. I mean, you can just see by this right here the amount of experimenting you could do. You know, sky is the limit as long as you have a way of creating that text into the shape that you're looking for. So, with that said, let's move on to text. And we're doing pretty good here on time wise, huh? We're just busting on through. Why don't you guys start thinking about ideas and maybe find a couple of vectors and throw them in the chat? And when we get done with everything, if there's time left, I'll run through them and see what we can come up with. So let's start with our text. I saw that Ennui was coming in. I don't know if they're here or not. If you are, hi. I just went ahead and picked your name because it was all lower cases, and I knew that you said you were interested in being here. So let's crank that up. Pattern to image 1. And what I wanted to show on this one, two things. So these are all, I'm just going to use one word, okay, to do these texts. Now, where your text is matters, right? If this is set in exactly right here in this placement, that's where it's going to be when you create the image. Okay? What I mean by that is, well, exactly that. Where it sits on the image is where it's going to be in your final image. Okay? So I have this one where it's just straight across, all capitals. Okay? Then I have another one here, straight across, different font, not as rounded, right? More squared off. And then I have another one here where instead of doing straight across, I went wacky with it, right? It's still all the same, just different sizes and in different locations. Still the name, okay? So let's start with we'll start with the normal one, just straight, squared off, and as impact oriented as possible, okay? And we'll just type in some words and we'll see what happens, right? Forest. Did I crank that up? No, I didn't. See, that's what happens. By the way, I'm so glad that the delete doesn't take 5 minutes anymore. Good job, devs. Um, turn the control net on, control net up to 1, forest, and go. Now we're type in ocean and go. Type in, what else did I have there? Uh, storm cloud with lightning and go. Let's see what those come up with. So there you have forest. I mean, pretty awesome, right? I mean, it's very easily read. That seems to be about the best one there. It's kind of weird how it ends like that in some of these places. But again, those can be massaged into looking a lot better. See, that one's hardly noticeable at all. It's more shadow than anything until you get further out. Same there. That looks pretty good. Everything's kind of really doubled up on trunk sizes there, huh? But you get the understanding. Here we go here. Ocean. Now, I didn't type what I wanted in the ocean, right? Just ocean. It decided to put in full on islands. A little strange. Excuse me. Houseboats, maybe? Guessing? I mean, that one's pretty cool, the way the reflection comes down. I mean, that's actually really awesome. That one's really cool. And another houseboat thing, looks like, or solar panels. I don't know what those are. And here we go with the storm. The further away you get, the better you can see that. Kind of weird with the cliffs jutting out of the clouds like that, but cool nonetheless. Very neat. A few skyscrapers coming up. Pretty cool. Now, like I said, these are just with simple little prompts. I'm not asking it to do anything crazy. Just ambiance, really. I think I had another. What else did I have here? Oh, a waterfall. Let's see what a waterfall does for. We. Let's see here. How are we doing? Yeah, we're doing okay. So sorry that some of you can't see the screen. That's so sad to me. I was really hoping that we'd all have a great time and this would go eventless. These are fantastic. Absolutely great. Every once in a while, especially with the waterfalls thing, every once in a while, Leo will just throw water coming out of random grass like this. But again, it doesn't really, it doesn't, it doesn't deflect from how badass it is to me. Excuse my French. I just absolutely am just in love with what it can do. All of these are really good images. Every last one of those. So let's move on to the rounded ones. Okay, this one's we got the rounded font, just a completely different font is all it is. And we'll run through those same ones. We'll start with waterfall. What else was there? Forest, storm clouds. All right. So there we go. Face, because they're bolder and larger, but nonetheless amazing. Absolutely gorgeous. I would be happy to have any of those images if I was on me. Yeah, see, right, like this. Random water coming out of the side, instead of from the top. But again, it has to do something to play on it, right? To give you that light dark. It's a wave crashing. Pretty cool. Can't tell if it's crashing over something. I mean, how awesome is that? If I was him, Onwe, I'd put a house right there. Uh, Very cool. That one's a little strange. This doesn't really work very well up there. All right, forest. Pretty cool. As cool. Now, this one. uh, Bring me some shrubberies. Oh, man. Yeah, look at that. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Very cool. Okay, what else do we have? Now this is where I start showing you how where it sits matters, right? We know it's going to go straight across and we know what it's going to do with that. Probably a little easier to read, right, when it goes straight across like that. A little tougher when the letters are different sizes. Now, in running this prior, that W is a little small and should probably be a little bit larger for Leo to be able to make anything out of it. But I'm going to use it anyway, just to show you what it does. And we'll use the same exact prompts as I did those other ones. Let's turn this on so I don't forget. Yep, we're at one. And let's go. So we've already got storm clouds with lightning. Let's do that one. And then we'll type in ocean. Oops, if I could spell. And we'll type in forest. And I don't remember what the other one was. Ocean, forest, waterfall. And we'll type in waterfall. Again, these things are so fast, under 10 seconds. And again, yeah, see, the W is having a hard time being created because it's too small for Leo to be able to see what it wants to do. And actually, this doesn't really work in a cloud format, does it? So again, that's something I was talking about earlier. You really have to think about placement of things, the shape of it. That A and everything being separate the way it is, it just won't work with clouds. It makes everything too on its own. Yeah, this one's a little strange too. The W, it just can't figure out what to do with the W. Yeah, same thing. But as you can see, like I said, the placement is everything. Here's the A. You know, I mean, obviously everything is placed exactly where it was, right? And there's kind of a W there, but you can barely see it. Yeah. See, this one's a little better. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably one of the best ones there, I think, of this deal. Random water coming out of here. It's okay. So there you go. I mean, it's pretty simple to do. Um, let's see. What other questions do we have, if any? Do we have anything? We got a couple of people writing. Let's see what they say. Oh, we have patterns? Oh, fantastic. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're going to have some fun. Boy, we got all kinds of patterns. All right. Let's see if we can use that as a pattern, Danny. Save that. Just call it bug. And let's see here. I need to get that open. Okay, they're saving into that folder. Perfect. Get rid of that. Let's see what this little bug thing will do. I think all we're really going to get out of this are those black dots because those are solid and easily recognized. All these thin lines, I don't think it's going to pick anything up. But let's see. We are at control net pattern image. Crank it all the way up. We're at 648.32. 4 of these images. We're going to generate 4 of them for 4 tokens. And what do we want to see on this? Let's say, let's try and do something a little less obvious. Let's do like the side of a barn, side of an old wooden barn, and just see if we can get the play. If I can spell, one day I'll get there. Let's just see if we can get the play on the light with the shadows um, on something just solid, right? A solid piece that has texture on it. Yeah, exactly as I was expecting. So it's going to see all those dots as something, but it's just going to give you kind of a basic outline, right? A basic shape. It's just too thin. It's got to be something a little more bold and in your face. So let's go on to the next one. Ha ha ha, guy. Troll smile. All right. But the old troll smile will do. Turn on control net. Pattern to image. Cranked all the way up. Um, See, this has some roundedness. What can we think of that troll face would look good in? Troll face would probably fit in well with that other prompt that I made for, actually, for the butterfly or for Why So Serious. Let's try the butterfly and the Why So Serious. This is the islands, the Indonesian archipelago. And let's, just for the heck of it, do that stalactite stalagmite cave as well. So I see it in there. A little better there. Uh, yeah. Little better there. Pretty crazy. Like a fun place to live. All right, what else we got? There we go. Little eagle head. All right. And get rid of troll face there. Do eagle head. What are we going to do with this one? Let's do a... that's a sports logo. What can we do sports related? Baseball field diamond from overhead view. See what that looks like. That should be a lot of light and dark play with the shadows. Oh, almost. Almost. But not quite, huh? Not quite. How about if we just do baseball field overhead view? All right. That's a little better, but we're still not getting the field the way it should be. So that's not really working right, huh? So look at that image and think about what that image would look best portraying, right? Inside of something. I mean, we could always do ocean. I don't really want to do ocean. See, ocean wave? No, it's too tall for a wave. That would probably be another cave one. Or the sky. Just do that, clouds. We're always seeing stuff in the clouds, aren't we? Yeah, there you go. Rising high above the clouds. Pretty cool. Very neat. Yeah. So that's working. Let's see what else. Okay, got that one. Ooh, yeah, that looks fun, Sagan. Yes, yes, yes. What do we want to do with this one? Hmm. I wonder if we did that in an overhead view of a wheat field or something, would it make that as a crop circle? Hmm. Let's see. Overhead view, wheat field, crop circle. I'll just tell it. Crop circle. See what happens. So fun to play with this stuff. Oh, I forgot to turn everything on. Don't be me. Luckily, it doesn't cost 20 tokens to generate. It was only 4, so I don't feel so bad. But yeah, make sure you always turn that on every time you change the image. What are we going to get here? Is it going to be a crop circle? Yes, it is. How about that? Kind of a trippy crop circle with the green in there, huh? Yeah, and I guess we could probably do a, let's see, no bushes, no trees in your negative prompt, and that might actually probably do a no green. Yeah, it just made grass. It doesn't like my no green idea. It's okay. You get the idea. Pretty cool though. All right, what else we got? Oh yeah, Aussie. It's that time. Let's see what we can get with this one. Boom. This is 640 by 640. If we want, we can go 8. Let's go 8. What do we want it to? Where do we want it? Let's do a haunted house. How about that? Um, actually, let's go. Hmm. Eerie cemetery scene. Eerie. Apparently not like that. Oh, two E's. That's right. Eerie cemetery scene. Tombstones. Mist. Fog. Foggy. Moonlit night. Yes. Yeah, this should do it. Let's see what we get. Oops. Guess what I didn't do? Didn't turn it on. After I just got through preaching to you about how you have to do it every time. You just get so amped up and ready to see what the next image is going to do, right? I keep saying it's like the one armed bandit in Las Vegas where you pull that handle. You never know if you're going to get that jackpot, but you sure are hoping you do. I mean, look at that. That's incredible. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's a weird tree, granted, but but it's exactly what we were asking for. That's better tree wise. Yeah, very cool. Oh, that one went more mausoleum style. Very cool. All right, what's next for Danny? Yeah, those I don't know if those are going to work because they're all so small. We'll give it a go. Yeah, just call it image. That's pretty much all it is. Let's see. See how it works. Boom! I turned it on. Look at there. We got it cranked up to 1, and something that we just look straight ahead at. Um, boy, I'm looking for texture on this one. If I could spell. Let's see if it'll bring texture in. A woman's purse, close up, leather, and see if that'll add those little curly cues into the leather to make it look like the texture on the hide. Yeah, it's too small lines. Too small of lines. It's unfortunate because I think that would have worked really well. Um, ah. Okay, what's next? A big old UPC. What do they call those things? QR code. That's what it's called. What are we gonna do with this QR code? What can we do with it? The Hollywood Street. Let's see what that does. Excuse me. I forgot to turn it on. It made a cool broken QR code though. Pattern damage, turned on to 1. Do 4. Let's go up to 8. Crank it down. What are we going to get here? Let's get rid of those. What do we have? It's all there. Look at that. It's all there. That's incredible. It's busy, extremely busy, but it's all there. There's your square. There's your square. There's your square. Spelling's wrong. We know that. It's always going to be wrong. Very cool. Yeah. So as you can see, the sky again is the limit. As long as your imagination can come up with it, Leo should be able to generate it for you. Let's see what else we have here. I did that one. That. Okay. Oh, that looks fun. Yeah, that looks like a good one, Kentox. What would we do it with? Let's see if we can use it as a texture on something. Oof. But what? I have a funny idea. Let's see if it works. Let's see if this works. Um, replicate the 1980s classic video game Hubert. Oop. Was it with an E? I don't remember if it was with an E or not. Take all those out. That doesn't really matter here. Come on, Hubert. Do your thing. Oh, almost. Almost. We're just missing the Cubert. Where is he bouncing up and down off those things? All right, let's see if we can actually hide it in something. What are we going to hide it in? That was worth a try doing the Hubert thing. How about, it's got to be something busy because it controls the entire screen, right? The entire image is going to have this plate in it. So it has to be like that QR code where there's something going on in every part of the image. So, unless it's a close up of some sort, let's see if we could do like a kids. Well, that ain't gonna work. Playing in the playground. I'm not sure what this is gonna give, but we'll see here in a couple of seconds. Just thinking about that one. Yeah, so that one, wow, it just gave this kind of wonky feel to it, didn't it? Hurt your eyes a little bit. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's what it reminds me of. Yeah, all of them are just a little wonky. Maybe if we did something full like a blanket or a tapestry or something like that, a fur blanket, because that'll show movement in the blanket. I'm hoping. Not really, huh? A little bit, kind of gives a little bit of a up and down quality to it. All right, well, let's try the next one. That didn't quite work how we wanted it to. Do we have any others? Nope, that was it. Look at that. We're on about an hour and 10 minutes. So we've still got another 20 or so. How uh how are you guys feeling? Does everybody feel confident with it? Do you have any questions? Please feel free to ask. Take all the advantage of me right now. Is there anything that you're having problems with in Leo at all? Not necessarily just pattern. Nothing, huh? We're doing good. Sagan's typing. Do we have any newcomers in the stage right now? Using feature for an anime style. I don't see why not. Um, I'm just not sure how. Maybe with text, if you did some, like the old Batman video or comic books where they always had the big, every time there was a punch, it would say "bam, boom, crash," that whole thing. Maybe if you did something like that, and then just ran a uh, normal prompt for your anime character, it might look kind of cool with a boom, bam, crash kind of thing behind it, or lightning, or that kind of thing. Now that's something, Jay. I haven't really used elements much, um, and no, I haven't tried doing any kind of 2D game asset stuff. But I don't see it why this wouldn't. Well, I think this is more of a 3D style thing for 3D images, but I don't see. Well, I don't know. Let's see. Save this image. This is just a bitmap style pixelated image that's coming up here, and let's see what this will do. Because this is kind of around that same thing you're talking about, right? 2D game asset. Let's see. I mean, why not, right? Let's do it. Exactly that. Let's do some pixel sprites and just see. I'll use that in the actual prompt and just see. It's not something that I do normally or ever, because it's just not in my wheelhouse. Get rid of these things, or they're gonna drive my eyes buggy. There we go. That one's pretty bad too. Okay. So let's see. What do we want to see? Pixel sprites. Um, 2D game asset. Mario World, I guess. Just see what happens. I mean, that is what Toady or whatever that thing's name is. Toadstool. I forgot to turn it on. I couldn't tell you how many tokens I wasted doing that. Could not tell you. I really wish that there was a way to just save things over here. All right. So yeah, there you go. It basically just turned it into a map, which is cool, right? I mean, that could really be used. That could really be used in game creation. Huh. Very cool. That was a good idea. Yeah, very cool. Some of them are better than others. I really like this one. Yes, we really need preset saving. I absolutely agree. I want preset saving. I want a text box for our dimensions. I know you can always just do this, but sometimes I don't want it 736. Sometimes I want it 784. You know what I mean? I want a text box because it's hard to get where you want to go with a twitchy hand like mine. So, um, yeah, uh, yeah, preset savings. That's a big deal. That will save me a lot and not wasting those tokens like you've seen me tonight. What have I wasted? Probably 30, 40 tokens. So yeah, yeah, it doesn't look bad, right? Not bad at all. Um, and like I said, it's a map. It looks like a map, and all engines need maps, all games. So all right. So what else? Do we have any more questions? Go through the scroll through real quick. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Uh, I answered about the anime style board game map. Oh, you're talking about those, yeah, the Cubert. It does look like a Where's Waldo scene. Absolutely. Oh, really, Zorg? I didn't know that. Okay, I'm glad I saw that. Thank you so much. I'm gonna try that. That's actually that's a mind blow right there. Apparently, Zorgi says you can drag your image into the select image area, which down here you can drag in there. Um, Wherever my images went, there they are. And then that doesn't turn it off. Very cool. I will definitely remember that. Very cool. Oh, I'm not seeing any more questions there. Let's see. All the way down at the bottom. How we doing? A little bit about myself. Well, my name is Kelly, as you're all aware. I have a YouTube channel or two. One of them is called Books into AI Images, where I had the idea of whenever whenever I read a book, I immediately get an image in my head as to what the author is writing. And I wanted, when AI first came out, to see if AI would get those same images that I would get. Um, so I started a YouTube channel where I just started running through all of the books that people would suggest. And I think I have about 75 or 80 books out there, something like that. Um, Everything from Dante's Inferno, well, actually the whole Divine Comedy, all the way up through I don't know, Dune. I mean, there's all kinds of books. They were all selected via subscribers. I'm also doing music lyrics along with the song and letting Leo create the music video. Um, that's the one I'm doing with AI. I also have a music channel called Don't Miss Albums, where I do basically a mini documentary on some of my favorite albums from growing up. Most of it's harder music, but I think all of it is something that everybody should hear at least once in their life. So, with all of that being said, I'm so glad that you all joined me this morning for me, maybe this evening for you. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to ping me in general. I am a volunteer mod here on the Discord for Leonardo, and I will be happy to help you as much as I possibly can. Also, for those new people who have trouble with your prompts, I came up with a little cheat sheet. I'll post it in the chat here if you're in the stream. That will help you with your prompts. I hope they helped me quite a bit. I said, the way that I prompt is in full sentences. A lot of people don't do that, and I do cut them down as I hit my as I hit the margin, right, where you hit the cap. So I have it written in plain English. Obviously, you can cut it down to meet your cap as necessary. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. And like I said, if you have any other questions, please feel free to ping myself or any of the other volunteer mods in general, and we would be happy answering your questions and help you right along. Some of us may even pop you into a voice chat and show you what it is that we do, and we would be happy to do that as well if you're more of an hands-on kind of learner. So there you go. I'm so sorry about the technical difficulties. I really wish that we could have seen it, all of us. Um, but hopefully the recording did all of that, and we'll be able to watch it here on the Leonardo YouTube channel shortly. Thank you all so very much, and I look forward to talking to you all in Discord. Have a great day or night, depending on where you're at. Take care.